had a dream a couple months ago, but it was a lucid dream, an extremely astral realm dream. It wasn't just a dream, all right? Because if you sense the presence of an entity, it's not just a dream, it's a spirit dream, all right? Sometimes I call them demon dreams, okay? I can recall one from not that long ago, but just a couple years ago. A couple years ago, I had a dream where I was in a mansion. It was kind of Winchester Mystery House looking, but it was stacked and stacked and stacked like you would see in a Tim Burton movie / Dr. Seuss book. Just too many levels, just stacked ridiculously. And to go from one level to the other, sometimes you would have to go like through hotel room floors with the trap doors. And you'd be like, oh, I need to go down to the ground level, which was like 30 floors down, and you'd have to go through a bunch of people's rooms. It was very weird, very bizarre. But once I got to the bottom, I got out of the mansion, which for some reason didn't really have a stairway. If it did, it was mostly just trapdoors, okay? Totally wacky dream, but it was a lucid dream of an astral realm vibe to it. I mean, I think I left my body and went to another dimension, because in the dream, there was like a mossy, green, lush base, and I got off of that and I went into like a little wash area where there would be like a river, but there's no river there. But there's still tons of moss and greenery all over the place. And then I looked around and I saw a bunch of orbs about this, I don't know, maybe the size of a baseball, just floating in the air, a bunch of orbs. And they were neon blue, neon white, neon yellow, neon green, but there was mostly blues and greens, hue, like a hue of blue and green, but mostly white, I guess. Just so these white orbs with like bluish and greenish hues, just emanating like straight out of the movies, you know, just a ball of light, just floating down this river with no water. And I decided to grab one of the balls, just grab it and squeeze it. It was just a floating ball. I didn't know what it was, okay? I grabbed one of them, I squeezed it, and my hand in real life, not in the dream, outside the dream, my hand in real life felt an electric shock when I grabbed the ball of light in the dream. So I grabbed a ball of light in the dream. I got a shock. I woke up and I could still feel the shock, and I could still feel the electricity and the numbness as a reaction to electricity in my hand. And that was when I woke up out of that dream. It wasn't just a ball of light in a dream. I literally grabbed an entity. I grabbed a spirit. And I could feel that. And to be honest, I have felt spirit matter before. I made a video where I shook a guy's hand and I got a shock. And I felt that shock before, few and far between here and there. When a spirit comes in close vicinity, let's say, walks the freak through me, I will, occasionally get a bolt of shock reaction, but I've become so accustomed to it that I don't react anymore. Because when a spirit walks through me now, I'll pretend I didn't feel it. I'll pretend nothing happened. Because I don't want the spirit to follow me. I don't want the spirit to know I have the ability to sense when the spirit walks through me. Most human beings don't have this ability. And so when a spirit finds someone that does have the ability, I could imagine they would Whoopi Goldberg from the movie Ghost follow you home and try to strike up a conversation. I can't hear ghosts like Whoopi Goldberg's character in the movie Ghost with Patrick Swayze's ghost. I can't hear them talking and like singing, you know, Henry VIII, I am, I am. I can't hear that, okay? Luckily. But I can sense when they walk through me. And I can sense when I grab spirit. I think some people cannot, okay? But I think perhaps some people can and they just don't know it, especially if they don't believe it. If they don't believe it, they'll shrug it off and say it's something else. If it's such a foreign concept that you believe is impossible, you'll always find an excuse of it being something else. But I shook this guy's hand in real life, not in a dream. Back in the year, the guy's name was Richard III, of all things. Talking about Henry VIII. This guy's name was Richard. His dad was Richard II. His dad's dad was Richard. And I don't know the guy's last name. He never told me his last name. He just introduced himself as Richard III. So Richard III, you know, I shake his hand after meeting him, and I get a shock immediately after shaking his hand, a spirit shock. But I tried to not make it too obvious. So I'm shaking his hand, and I probably react like that. I react as subtly as I can. I don't know what just happened. It felt like I just stuck a fork in a light socket and got electrocuted for a few seconds. So as I'm walking away, you know, he's like, bye. And I notice he doesn't have a finger. His hand looks like this. Because obviously the top of his finger got cut off. Now I actually did see him a couple more times after that, but I didn't want to bring up how'd you lose your finger. I didn't want to talk about how did the end of your index finger get cut off. It could have been a wood shop accident, could have been in the war. I don't know, you know. But I'm sure it's a sensitive subject with him. I didn't want to bother him about it. He was a nice enough guy. I just, you know, didn't bring it up in conversation. But what I felt when he shook my hand is I fully expected him to have 5 regular digits, okay? And when he didn't, this didn't exist. So he's shaking my hand like this, but his spirit finger went into my hand and I felt his spirit finger. I've already made a video about that, and the reactions were always, as they usually are on YouTube, toxic, with tons of toxic hate and vitriol, pure hatred, and filled with nothing but you're a liar, you're an idiot. I don't know why people think I would make a story like that up and tell it over and over and over and over and over. What do I get out of it, okay? But for the generations that see this after I'm dead, okay, like in 100 years, maybe one person out there will shake a hand with someone without a finger, feel that, see spirit matter as a foreign concept. They're probably not going to see this video, but maybe someone they know will see this video. Maybe the concept will be passed down some way in some form. I just try to share this information because it's true, okay? People see me as full-blown crazy, full-blown insane. I'm the exact opposite of that. You that do not believe in spirit matter are the one that is so entrenched in the non-spiritual that you've rejected spirituality as an actual part of this universe. You're only seeing half, if that, of this universe if you're only looking at the physical. So literally just a couple months ago, I had a dream similar to the grabbing of the spirit orb dream. I'm just in the dream doing stuff, don't remember, okay? 99.99999% of the dream, I don't remember any of it, okay? So sometimes I'll get follow-up questions. What else happened in the dream? What else? What else was going on? I have no idea, because like most human beings, okay, 10 seconds after you wake up, you forget all of it, okay? So I don't know what else would happen. I've literally talked about other dreams I've had, and I've had like 5 follow-up questions. Oh, what else? What else? What else? What else? I don't know, okay? Can't answer when I have zero memory of the rest of the dream, okay? But this is what I remember about the dream from a couple months ago. Left such a strong impact on me. I wrote a note in my phone, forgot about the note, just saw the note a couple days ago, posted on Instagram about it. Just to remind myself to make a video talking about it. A couple months ago, literally like 2 months ago, maybe 3 months ago, around that time frame, I had a dream where, I'm just walking around doing whatever, just random dream, right? I'm noticing everyone's like staring at me. Like everyone in the dream's like paying great interest in me. Like, there's a foreigner, there's a stranger. We don't see too many of your type of vibe. Those words were never uttered. That's the vibe of the dream, okay? Just, a lot of reactions like, oh, what's going on there? I'm sure that's a pretty common theme in dreams where, oh, what's going on there? But I can interpret that as you potentially going to the astral realm, leaving your body, okay? And you're a human ghost, a living human ghost that has a living human body, but you're temporarily out of it. You're temporarily leaving your human body. You're a living human ghost. And you're potentially going to a dimension of spirits, okay? These spirits don't have physical bodies. All they are is a spirit. They don't have a chain connected. They don't have a silver cable connected to a physical body, okay? They're just free floating. They are what they are. And when they see a human ghost in this spirit dimension, they immediately know you're not one of them. They immediately know you're different. They immediately say, ooh, we don't get too many living humans, spirits out of their body floating around here. That's the vibe of the dream. Now, I've had that a few times here, a few times there. I think potentially, theoretically, you are actually going into the astral realm, into a dream dimension where spirits actually float around. What are these spirits doing? They're living their spirit lives, perhaps, but I think some of them are creating dreams for humans, interjecting and creating dreams for humans. So let me just cut to the chase. All I remember is that vibe of, ooh, who's this? Who's that? One of the spirits or people walks up to me, or floats up to me more specifically, and I notice I'm looking up at them and they're looking down at me. They're not big and I'm not small. That's just the perspective of what's going on. And I think it was a female, definitely had a feminine voice. And she said, do you have a magnetic memory? And that's how she said it. She said, do you have a magnetic memory? Like curious, like another species looking down on me and saying, are you a special human? Do you have a magnetic memory? Meaning, who knows? Interpret it if you will. That's the exact question. I believe an actual spirit asked me, do I have a magnetic memory? That's a spirit question, okay? From a spirit. I don't think it's from a dream, because right after she asked me that question, I immediately woke up and it left such a strong impression. I can even hear the voice. I mean, could have been a high-pitched guy's voice, but it sounded like a woman to me. Very strong impression and a full-blown, do you have a magnetic memory? 6 words. She emphasized the word you. Do you have a magnetic memory? Perhaps she went to many different human ghosts in this dimension, and that perhaps they didn't remember her after they woke up. Perhaps they didn't remember the question. Perhaps they didn't remember anything. So to answer that spirit's question, to answer that entity's question, to answer the being in the astral realm, in the lucid dream, to answer the question, perhaps I do have a magnetic memory, because I remembered the question, and I remembered it enough to make a note and to talk about it in this video. Do you have a magnetic memory? It's almost as if I wasn't the first person she asked. Do you? Do you? Do you? Do you? The emphasis on you is unusual. You know, it could have been stated, do you have magnetic memory? And I might have not remembered. But do you have a magnetic memory? And I remembered. A magnetic memory. I mean, that sounds like a concept only a spirit would even consider. Human beings don't consider their brains as magnetic, but spirit entities that are perhaps constructed, built, designed, I mean, their matter is different. They have spirit matter. Their memories are different. They have magnetic memories, perhaps. Perhaps they think of memories as magnetic memories. Perhaps they think of remembering as magnetic. So perhaps the word magnet and magnetic is synonymous with remembering for them. It's a very interesting concept because EMF fields, electromagnetic fields, are greatly associated with spirit entities. Spirits can set off EMF devices, and it's one of the number one devices ghost hunters use to detect spirit entities. And perhaps spirits know well beyond the humans, know well beyond the race of human beings that they're entirely made of magnetic fields. That's what they are. They're intelligent magnetic fields. Pretty interesting concept. But it goes beyond magnetic fields. I know personally they are also static electricity fields. So they're static, they're magnets, they're fields, they're radiation, they're electricity, they're energy, and other religions will say they are made out of pure fire. I think fire is simply an ancient term for all these modern explanations of electromagnetic fields and static electricity and energy and electricity, because when they were called fire entities made out of fire, the element of fire, it was before electricity was a thing, okay? And so fire is most definitely equatable. Spirit entities, they have magnetic memories, and perhaps they look for humans that can remember lucid dreams, remember going to the astral plane of existence. I've had only a few and far between handful of, a couple handfuls of lucid dreams where I would consider them being me leaving my body, going to another dimension. Only a couple. So I'm not out here saying I have thousands of stories. I probably only have 10 stories similar to the do you have a magnetic memory? Probably only have 10 dreams I can remember even close to that. One of them would be the me grabbing the ball spirit orb thing. And I did feel, like there was a presence after I woke up. The voice and the message and the question was in my ear so strongly. I've had a couple dreams similar to that where I'm opening up a book and I see the book cover. And I try to remember the book cover. I try to remember the title. And I forget, and it's gone. Man. So write down your dreams. Write them down. Have a spirit journal. Make a note in your cell phone. That's what I did. Just make a note in the notes section on your phone. Some dreams are important. Thank you for watching. Until next time, this is John Rasmus Houston, but also John W.F. Houston. That's my real name. Be seeing you.